ونحمده ونستعين ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب, brothers and sisters, let's do Q&A inshallah. What is the ruling of the one who break the fast intentionally? What's the ruling? What's the hukum on that person? How vast the sin is? Someone is fasting, he broke the fast, Ramadan, with no valid reason. Not sure? Russell, no?
It's sinful.
Huh?
It's sinful, no?
It's sinful? Just sinful? No?
You have to make it up with a further 30 fasts.
Yeah, it's simple, not simple as that. Just make it up. What's the gravity of it?
Major sin.
Very bad.
Major sin.
It's major sin. Some of the ulama say worse than zina. So if you, month of Ramadan, and you're fasting, you have no valid reason, just go and drink a glass of water, I'm thirsty. No reason. That's worse than zina. This is major sin, crime. The ulama have mentioned. Also, we have mentioned hadith. You remember the hadith? Were you here last week? Do you remember the hadith? Prophet saw in a dream. Saw in a dream. I can't remember. Muhsin, Ihsan.
He saw people who stood, they were made to stand upside down. The reason is because they used to deliberately break their fast in the day.
Deliberately. So we're not talking about somebody want to make a safar, want to make a journey to another town. No. If you say, for example, month of Ramadan, you're going to Birmingham, you made a decision, you can break your fast. Because the moment you made the intention, you're musafir, you can break your fast. But you have to make it up though, qada. But we're talking about a person fasting month of Ramadan. He's not traveling, nothing, had no valid reason. What he did, he broke his fast. That's the adab. What's the adab? He's turned upside down, bleeding, blood was coming from his mouth and things like that. Achilles, you know the Achilles was, he was cut here and he was bleeding everywhere. Shows the gravity of the sin. And this adab shows that it is a major sin to break the fast without any valid reason. So that's the number one. Number two, who can I ask? You're having a suhoor, yeah? The second adhan is gone. Not the first, the adhan of Bilal Maktoum. Okay? So what do you're eating and enjoying your rice and curry and adhan goes. What do you do?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sheikh, but if it's the second adhan, you have to stop immediately.
You have to stop immediately. Okay, no problem. What do you do? No. Go on, Akhi.
Stop.
You stop. Okay. Shu'aib? I mean, no,
You continue eating and then you go and pray.
You continue to eat?
Then you go pray.
Okay, that's good.
Finish your food.
You want to add anything?
The ulama say whatever morsel you have left or anything that's left in your plate and cup, even after the second adhan is gone, you finish it.
Finish it. Can I get more food after that?
Of course.
No.
Of course, after Subhanallah, you can't. So the understanding is, brothers and sisters, that if you are having a suhoor and the second adhan goes, that means the fajr has come in now, have kicked in, the fajr has kicked in. So whatever morsel, whatever food you have on your plate and the water, drink it and finish the food and then khalas. Don't move on anymore, don't get anything else, and that should be enough. You can't throw the food away, nothing. Have the food what is in front of you, finish that off. Tayyib, khalas. You've answered the question. Let's continue inshallah. Next benefit in Ramadan, Fiqh of Ramadan, is that ما الذي يستحب أن يفطر عليه. What is recommended to break iftar with? What is recommended? Okay, we do that, alhamdulillah. You know, the hadith is that the most important thing is that you break your fast with, you can break it with anything. PFC, rice and curry and you can have a biscuit. You're breaking your fast, alhamdulillah. But Prophet taught us adab of breaking your fast. He said, hadith of Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu, قال كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يفطر قبل أن يصلي على تمر فإن لم يجد تمر حسوات من ماء. That Prophet ﷺ will break his fast before the salah. So adhan goes, you break your fast, okay, and he will break it with tamar, with dates. And if he doesn't find dates, he will break it with water. Now, tamar, dates has many fada'il, many virtues. Ibn al-Qayyim mentions it. One of the hadiths that I'm sure you all know that if you have 7 dates every morning, you will not have stomach problems. Another hadith says that ajwa, specifically mentioned ajwa. But any date that you have in the morning, inshallah 7, then you will protect your stomach from any stomach ulcers, stomach problem, inshallah. So dates has a lot of virtues, inshallah. So that's why we have to have dates. We should have dates for iftar, inshallah. Bake with dates and pile up your house with dates because the Ramadan is here now. Alhamdulillah. Tayyib. Now, what is the dua of iftar? Okay, what is dua of iftar? Obviously, this hadith, there are a lot of ikhtilaf between the scholars regarding the authenticity of the hadith. First hadith, a lot of people say this is the dua. Allahumma laka sumtu wa sumna wa ala rizqika aftarna fataqabbal minna innaka anta samiul alim. Hadith Daraqutni reports, Hadith Abdullah ibn Abbas. So the hadith is that, oh Allah, for you we fasted and you given us provision, so we broke the fast. So except from us, indeed you're the one who hear everything and you're most knower of everything. This hadith Shaykh Muqbil makes it da'if. Hadith da'if, we always say this, that's hadith weak. There's another hadith which hadith ibn Umar radiallahu anhu كان مثلهم يقول ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت العجل إن شاء الله. This hadith, some of the scholars makes it authentic. Shaykh Muqbil makes it da'if. Again, this hadith is not authentic. Subhanallah. This hadith, based on some of the scholars, you can say this. ذهب الظمأ, my thirst has gone, my vein has been quenched, and the reward has been established. Okay. Another hadith we say إن للصائم عند فطره دعوة لا ترد. That there is a dua before iftar for Sa'im, that if you say it, you won't be accepted, you won't be rejected. This hadith is also weak. Dua for Shaykh Muqbil رحمه الله. قال علامة الألباني لم أعرفه. I never came across this hadith. He makes it da'if as well. So you can just say Bismillah and you can just bake iftar. But there's another hadith we can use. Allahumma inni as'aluka bi rahmatika allati wasi'ta kulla shay an taghfira li. Ibn Majah reports this hadith and Ibn Hajar makes it Hasan. Oh Allah, I ask you by your mercy and your knowledge, your rahmah encompasses everything, that you forgive me. Ask you to forgive me. My brothers and sisters, when it comes to these, some of the hadiths are weak. Scholars have made it weak. Best thing to do is just say Bismillah, and as we normally say before we eat, and then continue inshallah. But these hadiths are weak. The ulama makes it da'if. Yeah. So dua, there's no specific dua for iftar. Allahumma laka sumtu wa bi rizqi aftartu. This hadith, a lot of people say it, but when I've checked it, a lot of other ulama make the hadith da'if. But dhahab al-dhama'u, some makes it authentic. But ala kulli hal, you know what? Just say Bismillah and inshallah break your fast. Alhamdulillah. It's no wajib to make this dua inshallah. Next, we continue inshallah. Faslun fi ba'd al-adab as-sa'im. Some of the manners, characteristic or behaviors a fasting person should have in the month of Ramadan. Okay? Remember, what we're going to mention inshallah, This is only in Ramadan, should be outside Ramadan as well. Okay. The first thing is اجتناب شهادة الزور والغيبة والسائر المعاصي. That to abandon any sins, sins like backbiting, slandering, any other form of sins we should abandon. And because Ramadan, as we have mentioned, is that what is the purpose of Ramadan? Is to attain the taqwa of Allah Azza wa Jal. And a part of attaining the taqwa, the piety, is to abandon the sins. And when we abandon those sins, we don't just abandon in the month of Ramadan, we should abandon them outside Ramadan. Now this hadith mentioned by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and Rasulullah قال من لم يدع قول الزور وعمل به والجهل فليس الله حاجة في أن يضع طعامه وشرابه. Hadith, authentic hadith, the Prophet said that whoever doesn't leave any qawl al-zur, which is bad statement, swearing, lying, and all that, backbiting, Allah doesn't need of him leaving his food and drink. Okay. Now, some of the ulama, based on this hadith, they have taken two opinions. Okay. There's another hadith, inshallah, I'm going to mention as well, which shows that if you don't abandon the sins, this is what happens in the month of Ramadan. Prophet said that in the hadith, رُبَّ الصَّائِمْ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صِيَامِهِ إِلَّا جُوعٌ وَرُبَّ الْقَائِمْ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ قِيَامِهِ إِلَّا السَّهْرِ. The hadith, the Prophet said that many people fast month of Ramadan, they have nothing but hunger. Many people do qiyamul layl, they have nothing except tiredness. What does it show? That the ulama, based on these two hadiths, the first opinion they say that Imam al-Waadi'i said that if you were to backbite the month of Ramadan, it is sufficient that your Ramadan is accepted. Okay? So first opinion, the ulama says that based on these two hadiths, that your Siyam is not accepted because of this ma'asi that you do. That's the first opinion of first group of scholars. And that's among them al-Waadi'i rahimahullah. And Ibn Hazm, they say that your fasting is not valid if you do sins like this in the month of Ramadan. And ذهب السائر العلماء إلى أنه يعتبر عاصيا ولا يبطل صومه. Other ulama says, the majority of the scholars says that it's considered to be a sinner, but his fasting will not be nullified, but his reward is going to go down. Okay, his reward is going to go down. But if you look at the ayah of the Quran, is that Allah made fasting fard upon us, so we become a muttaqi. And part of taqwa is that you abandon the sins. Okay, so the illah is, the reason is that you become muttaqi by fasting. But if you're fasting and if you don't abandon the sins, then you haven't attained the goal, which is taqwa of Allah. So some of the ulama says, based on that, it's like your fasting hasn't been accepted. There's no result of your fasting. Okay? And some said you are sinful, your reward will be lessened if you were to fall into those sins. Subhanallah. Ala kulli hal, even if it doesn't break, isn't there enough, these sins, to take you to the hellfire? And the month of Ramadan should be the month to prevent us from falling into these sins. But if you continue month of Ramadan, what about outside Ramadan? It will probably be worse. So Allah has mentioned the purpose of Ramadan is to attain the taqwa of Allah Azza wa Jal. And part of taqwa is to leave these sins, gossips and backbiting and iyadu billah. Tayyib, also in month of Ramadan, we should increase a'mal al-salihat. Okay? We should increase a'mal al-salihat. These some of the adab we should have. Read the Quran. And the month of Ramadan, the a'mal, the reward is multiplied. Okay, memorize Quran, divide your Quran. You can do, a person can do, some month of Ramadan, read the Quran from the beginning to end as much as you can. Read, keep reading until you finish it. And if you don't finish month of Ramadan, continue to read after Ramadan as well. Okay, just make the habit. So the reward, reading the Quran, inshallah. So that should be also part of adab in month of Ramadan. Read the Quran. Now, in month of Ramadan, you're fasting and you face, and many people do that, they face trial from Allah Azza wa Jal. Maybe that, somebody curses you, swears at you, verbally abuses you. Okay, Islam teaches us this, that, such person should not try to retaliate, swear at him, or confront him verbally. If he swears at you, what do? Hadith teaches us that. He said that فَإِذَا كَانَ يَوْمٌ حديث عن أبي رضي الله عنه قال فإذا كان يوم صوم أحدكم فلا يرفث. Okay, that if you're fasting, one of you fasting on a day, do not violate. Okay, فإن أمر شاتمه, if somebody were to curse him أو قاتله, to fight him, فليقل إني صائم, say I'm fasting. Okay, say I'm fasting. If someone curses you verbally, don't curse him back. Say inni ana sa'im, I'm very fasting, and leave it. But if he was to physically fight you, physically going to attack him, and he's going to punch him, whatever, then defend yourself. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha, Allah burden the ones you can bear. fattaqullaha mastata'tum, fear Allah much as you can. So if someone will come and hit you on your face, or you with your family, she's going to get attacked, then you have no choice but to defend yourself and your family. I'm talking about physical attack now, not verbal. Physical attack, then you have to defend yourself. There's nothing you can do for that. So I think that you won't go that far, but at least you might get verbal abuse. If you do that, say inni sa'im, just walk away. You can walk away, or don't say anything. Just move on. So this is one of the things we should do in month of Ramadan. Also, in month of Ramadan, what can we do when it comes to wudu? Istinshaq. When we make wudu, my brothers and sisters, regarding istinshaq, you know what istinshaq is, yeah? When we make wudu, istinshaq is to take the water inside your nose, and istinthar is to blow it, sniff it out. What is the ruling of istinshaq in month of Ramadan? Now, istinshaq is sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. It's wajib in wudu. Okay, it's wajib that we have to do istinshaq in Ramadan, outside Ramadan. Okay, and if we don't do istinshaq in wudu, the wudu will not be valid. Now, why? How do we know that? فَلْيَسْتَنْشِقْ بِمَنْخَرِ مِنَ الْمَاءِ, let him make istinshaq by putting water in his nose. Now the hadith says مَنْ تَوَضَّ فَلْيَسْتَنْشِقْ, that whoever makes wudu, let him make istinshaq. So this is wajib, command from Prophet ﷺ, that we have to do istinshaq. And you put water through the nose and then sniff it out, which is istinthar. Now in month of Ramadan, can we do istinshaq? We still have to do istinshaq. We cannot abandon that. Otherwise our wudu won't be accepted. Hadith of Prophet said that أسبغ الوضوء وخلل بين أصابع, that إسبغ الوضوء is do wudu properly according to Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and make takhlil of isba', passing your fingers between your fingers. Okay, then he said وبالغ في الاستنشاق إلا إذا كان صائم, and بالغ في الاستنشاق means put the water through your nose deeply unless you are fasting, meaning that if you are fasting, don't do that. Because what happens if you do that, water might go into your stomach and you might nullify your fasting. So the ulama says istinshaq is wajib, but mubalagha fil istinshaq, sniffing putting the water through your nose deeply, that's mustahab. So in Ramadan, don't do that. Okay, Ramadan, abandon it. Doing istinshaq mubalagha, yani putting water, sniffing water in through your nose. Too much, don't do that. Just put the water in your nose and sniff it out. Don't do too much, because it might go into your stomach and break your fast. طيب. So istinshaq is, you understand what istinshaq is there? Don't do mubalagha in your, don't put too much water inside, inshallah. Now, what is the ruling of siwak in month of Ramadan? What is the ruling of siwak? Now, siwak is one of the mustahab, in the hadith of Abu Hurairah that لولا أن أشق على أمتي لأمرت بالسواك عند كل وضوء وفي رواية عند كل صلاة, that if you wasn't burden for my ummah, I would have commanded them to use siwak every time after wudu or before wudu or before salah. But it is mustahab. Okay? And also in the hadith, the Prophet said that siwak madharatul lifam wa mardatul lirab, that siwak is pleasurable to Allah and makes your mouth pure. So based on the hadith, you can use whenever you want. There's no specific time when you use the siwak. Prophet used it last part of the night. He used siwak before he went to his family. Hadith of Aisha, Sahih Muslim. So Prophet used siwak in different times. So there's nothing to forbid us to use siwak in the month of Ramadan. You can use the siwak, no problem with that. What if you have a saliva in your mouth? Can you take the saliva in? Yes, you can do that. There's nothing to say you can't use it. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen says that السواك سنة للصائم في جميع النهار وإن كان رطبا وإذا استاك وهو صائم فوجد حرارة أو غيرها من طعمه فبلعه أو أخرج من فمه وعليه ريق ثم أعاده وبلعه فلا يضر. Now Ibn Uthaymeen says that the siwak is sunnah for the one who is fasting throughout the day, even if it is fresh. If a person uses siwak while fasting and find that he can taste something when some sort of smell taste, and he swallow it and he spit it out from this mouth, and there is a saliva on it, then he swallow it, that does not affect his fasting. So when you're using a siwak and you have a saliva, you can spit it out or you can take it in. That will not nullify your fasting, inshallah, because this part of your mouth you will not, because there's nothing in the hadith specifically says that it breaks your fast. Taking saliva in does not break your fast, inshallah. So we've done istinshaq. كذلك مضمضة as well. You do مضمضة in your wudu, okay, because it's part of the wudu as well, inshallah. The next part of the masail al-siyam is that إذا أكل أو شرب ناسيا طيب. If someone were to eat or drink out of forgetfulness. Now if someone were to do that, we obviously know that his fasting is still valid, continue to fast, inshallah. It will not nullify his fast, because Allah says in the Quran, لَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ فِيمَا أَخْطَأْتُمْ بِهِ. Okay, there is no harm upon you, okay, in what you've made mistake. So if someone were to drink or eat out of forgetfulness, it's a khata, it's a mistake. It will not nullify his fasting. Also Allah says in the Quran, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Oh our Lord, do not punish us for mistake and forgetfulness. So this is a mistake and forgetfulness, and if you're forced to do something, these three things, you are forgiven for it. So if you eat or drink by forgetfulness, your fasting is still valid, inshallah, and we continue to fast. This is the most authentic opinion based on the evidence. The hadith of Prophet in the Sahihain, Bukhari, Muslim, Prophet said that من نسي وهو صائم فأكل أو شرب فليتم صومه فإنما أطعمه الله وسقاه. That Prophet said that whoever eat or drink out of forgetfulness in the month of Ramadan, he can let him continue to fast. Indeed, Allah who fed him caused him to drink. So here, my brother, we learn that your fast is still valid, but you don't eat again more. Once you realize that, oh subhanallah, I'm fasting, okay, spit out your food and spit out your drink, whatever you're drinking, spit it out, don't take it in, and stop eating and drink whatever you are. But if you realize after your full munch, you realize you had your rice and curry and you drunk and you realize, well, I was fasting. Khalas, you continue to fast. Allah fed you and Allah called you to drink. Because a mistake, khata. and we make mistake. And this is the jumhur of the ulama. So Shaykh ibn Taymiyyah mentioned as well, and others, you're forgiven for that. Inshallah, don't break your fast. طيب إخوان وأخوات. So drinking, eating out of forgetfulness, you continue to fast. Don't break your fast. طيب. The next one is المسائل تتعلق بمبطلات الصيام. The next part of class is that things that nullify your siyam. That's quite a long chapter, but we're not going to do everything today. The first one is that, my brothers and sisters, we need to know ويبطل الصيام بأكل وشرب والجماع بالكتاب والسنة. Okay, the first thing is that what breaks your fast, eating, drinking, or having intercourse, month of Ramadan. Allah says in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, وحل لكم ليلة الصيام رفث. Okay, Allah has made rafath, intercourse, month of Ramadan, in the night of Ramadan, halal. So you break your iftar before Fajr, it is halal. Allah said, فَالْآنْ بَاشِرُهُنَّ وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. Allah said, now, بَاشِرُهُنَّ. Mubashara here means, you can have intercourse with your wife. Now, seek the virtue, the bounty of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا. Eat and drink. حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ. Until the white thread become clear from the black thread. Meaning Fajr. Until Fajr, all this is halal for you. Intercourse, drinking, eating, halal. So how is the evidence then? Eating and drinking nullifies your siyam. Meaning that when the time of Fajr comes, that becomes haram. Okay? Until before Fajr, all is halal. When the Fajr comes, all becomes haram. You can't do it. Khalas. That's the evidence from the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah. That's the first thing nullifies الصيام. طيب. This is a common problem. I'm going to mention that now. It's a lot of common problem back home when we used to fast. Ibtila' al-riq, to swallow your saliva. We were taught back home that, don't drink your saliva, don't take your saliva back. It's going to nullify your fasting. There's no evidence for that. Okay, there's nothing to say take your saliva from your mouth to swallow it breaks your fast. Sheikh says here, Shaykh Hizam, he said that والأصح في المذهبين أنه لا يفطر. That if you don't take your saliva in, you will not break your fast. لعدم الوجود دليل على تفطيره. Because there's no evidence that it nullifies your fast. There's nothing to say it breaks your fast. وهو الذي رجح ابن قدامة. And this is what Ibn Qudama said, this is the authentic opinion. So كما أنه لا يفطر إذا لم يجمعه. That you will not break your fast. Saliva will not break your fast. And this is the opinion of Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymin as well. You will not break your fast. طيب. Continue with that, inshallah. So saliva, my brothers and sisters, it does not break your fast. If it's in your mouth, take it, no problem, inshallah. Even after miswak, you use it. The next one, part of this is that بقية الطعام الذي بين أسنان. Now when you have suhoor, you might clean your mouth, yeah? But sometimes between your teeth you have food left, you didn't realize. So as the day goes, the food comes out. Now what is the ruling of the one if someone were to take the food inside back? ذهب الجمهور إلى أنه إذا بلع منه شيئا فإنه يعد مفطرا. That majority of the scholars have said that if someone were to take the food back in, then his fasting will be nullified. Because it's considered that he ate some food. That's eating. وقول مالك وأحمد والشافعي وهو الصحيح. And Shaykh said this is the authentic opinion. So understand here, you got some food after suhoor, stuck in your mouth, you cleaned it but there's some left, okay, I'm just giving an example, and as the day starts, and you realize, subhanAllah, you got food in your mouth, stuck on your teeth, now it's just come out. So ulama say, if you take that in, that's considered you've ate. You should spit it out. If you take that in, then that will break your fast. That's the most authentic opinion. Okay? لأنه يعد مفطرا. It's considered the one who he made iftar, he ate food. So that will nullify his salah, his fasting. لأنه يعتبر أكل الطعام. He's considered to be the one who ate food. That's eating food. ويمكنه إلا احتراز منه ولا تدعو الحاجة إليه. Because he could have thrown it away. He could have thrown the food away, he spit it out. He had the right to do that, but he took it in. So that will nullify his fasting. وذهب أبو حنيفة إلى أنه لا يفطر. That Abu Hanifa said, no, it's considered to have the fasting, he should continue to fast. He will not nullify his siyam. Okay? ولا دليل على ما ذهب إليه, and there's no dalil for Abu Hanifa to say that it doesn't break your fast. Okay? What is the difference between me eating food that is between my teeth and taking out from the pot? What difference does it make? It doesn't make no difference. If I take out a piece of rice and I eat that, will that nullify your siyam? Will that nullify your siyam? If I take a rice and I eat it, will that nullify my siyam? So what difference does it make if I have one between my teeth and I take that in my mouth, inside? Nullify, same thing. So that's the Jumhur. Abu Hanifa says it doesn't nullify. He has no evidence for that. طيب. So next one is لو ابتلع الصائم شيئا يسيرا جدا. If someone were to swallow something very little, atom of grain or something, simsam or something like that, it's something very little, that will nullify his siyam. If he does it knowingly, nullify his siyam. There's no doubt about that. طيب, continuing. Okay, inshallah. So the more to come next week, inshallah. Be patient. So we covered, mashallah, quite a lot. So remember this, inshallah. These are the things nullify the siyam. So let's continue next week. Let me take some as'ila, inshallah. Okay. Yeah.
So my question is, for example, during Ramadan, so if we use like a body spray and we breathe some of the spray, would this invalidate the...
No. It's like if you smell it, you know, if you use a brush your teeth with, and it smells, that will not nullify, no. That will come, inshallah. It will not nullify, it doesn't nullify.
You know, when you talk about all the du'as before breaking the fast, you see there's khilaf on all of them.
There's a khilaf, but the one I've given you, Shaykh Albani, Shaykh Muqbil makes it da'if. It's not authentic. So the best thing, they just say Bismillah and eat it, and they break your iftar. Yeah, and that's the way it is. And the hadith we normally practice is the ulama makes it da'if. Yeah, they makes it da'if. Just say Bismillah and eat it, inshallah.
So, that stuff with the food stuck in your teeth.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day, you might just come out.
Yeah.
If it's unintentional, so you're not in control after you're
So that fall under mistake, isn't it?
Okay, so then it's okay.
That's okay. So brother saying that if you have food stuck in your mouth and that comes out daytime, and by mistake if it goes in, then you don't fall into it, like eating without knowingly. So yeah, so that's different. So remember, mistake, forgetfulness, and whatever compelled, these three things, if you fall into these three things, then we are excused from Allah Azza wa Jal. It's forgiven. We are forgiven for that. Any more? No? Go on.
Did you mention the names of the scholars who authenticated the hadith about the dua after breaking the fast?
I haven't. The one I gave, Ibn Hajar makes it Hasan. The one.
The one that Dhahab al-Dam, that one.
This one, I can't recall who makes it. Can I give you that next week, inshallah? I can't recall who makes it authentic. I have to go back to that note again, inshallah. So ذهب الظما وابطلت العروق. Some of the ulama makes it sahih. Shaykh Al-Bani, Shaykh Muqbil makes it da'if. I'll give you next week the checking of that, inshallah. Remind me. Go on.
Is there any fault for anybody who brushes their teeth with toothpaste while they're fasting but without putting it on their tongue? So they're only using it on the teeth area.
If you teeth there is no problem. Even if you're cooking and you can taste the food, as long as you don't swallow it. Yeah, it's not going to break you. So when you taste the food, you're smelling, isn't it? But it doesn't break you fast. If you spit it out, it's okay. Then clean your mouth. Yeah. Oh, well gone.
Sheikh, you mentioned using the siwak during the fast. For example, you know when you use the siwak, there's like a taste that's left in the saliva. So because that taste is left in the saliva, should you rather like spit it out?
You can spit it out, but the ulama say nothing to say it breaks your fast.
So if I swallowed it,
No, it doesn't. No,
okay.
no. I just read Ibn Uthaymin's fatwa on that. Yeah. Go on.
I had Sheikh Suleiman Ruhaili mention the Hanabila and the Shafi'iyya. They said it's makruh to use the siwak during Ramadan because they use the evidence that the scent of the fasting person's mouth is more fragrant to Allah than musk, and by using the siwak you're removing that scent.
No, sir. You can. I mean, it's makruh. If it doesn't make makruh, because I know the hadith said that the fragrance of the month of Ramadan is more beloved to Allah than any fragrance. That's true. No doubt about that. But if someone to use it doesn't make it makruh, dislike, okay. If he wants to use it, it will. It doesn't nullify a siyam or no. It is not haram. I mean, makruh. I don't know how it go makruh, but we should leave it. We should leave it. Yeah. In other words, you should leave it because the fragrance that comes from your mouth is from what we ate from the stomach, isn't it? But the smell, we might not like it, but to Allah is more beloved. So, if someone were to leave it, alhamdulillah. But if you want to use miswak, you're welcome to do that. But as the brother said, the fragrance should keep it. Allah loves it. Yeah, but makruh, I don't know how, but I won't be surprised. Yeah. But it doesn't. You're allowed to use it. It's okay, inshallah. Yeah. Khalas?
Just to clarify about the brushing teeth with toothpaste, you cannot do that.
You can use it. You can use the toothpaste, inshallah, nothing wrong. Make sure when you use the toothpaste, make sure you don't swallow anything because it's a chance. So try to avoid it. If you want to use it, if in the morning, best to use the miswak. Use the miswak and khalas. But toothpaste, you're gonna need the mouth water to rinse it, and what if it just goes? You have to be very careful. So I would recommend use the siwak month of Ramadan. Because when you have toothpaste, you go clean your mouth. Imagine while you're cleaning it goes inside the water. So that's a risk. So try to use miswak more in Ramadan, inshallah. Khalas? Okay,
سبحانك